Hey guys, it's Theo here, host of the Conquering Dyslexia podcast. Today I want to talk to us about something that's very, very powerful, something that I think controls our whole lives, especially as dyslexics, and it's our associations. It's more specifically our dyslexic associations, what we associate towards dyslexia, what we associate towards the struggles we have of dyslexia, and the power that can have in our life is so critical. And understanding that and being able to use that, maybe influence that to maybe help you be more supportive in your life rather than being diminishing you. Anyway guys, I really hope you enjoyed today's episode and have an amazing day.
So the big question is this: how can dyslexics like us create a place, a community, a tribe where people at any stage of life can come and solve any challenge, amplify their strengths, and ultimately help them become who they were meant to be? Or in other words, conquer their dyslexia. That is the question, and this show is the answer. My name's Theo Goff, and welcome to the Conquering Dyslexia podcast.
So guys, dyslexia associations, or your dyslexic associations, that's what I want to dive in today and really talk about in some detail here, and really discuss and give a few very good techniques on how to really use your dyslexic associations to maybe help you and really understand, okay, where is it tripping you up? So what is an association? So basically what association is, how you think, what do you associate to someone or to something or to a certain circumstance or or like a memory. So basically what an association is your reaction to it, is everything, because in reality it's everything, because there's stuff that happens in the environment, there's situations, there's moments in time, and it doesn't matter what happens, it matters what you associate to what happens, or in other words, the meaning behind what happens, that you decide the meaning, you decide the association. For example, things can happen, like the same thing can happen to two different people. The same, you mean like dyslexic problem, or when people like laugh at you because you spell the wrong word, or the exactly same circumstance, situation that can happen to two different people, but yet they attach a different association to that. They attach a different meaning to that thing. And because they attach different meaning, they attach different association. One person can say, oh, this person's making fun of me. It means they're discriminating against me. It means they're being really mean, really horrible. And so this means that I can't be friends with them. This means that everyone bullies me. This means that no one understands dyslexia. And I've had those moments. I've had those associations in my life a lot of times. And that's one association. And with that association, you can kind of tell what new actions I would take or what actions I wouldn't take. I wouldn't want to speak to them more. I would feel bad about myself. I'd feel like something's wrong with me. I'd feel like other people aren't that good. I would feel that I can't trust others. And then obviously I'll do different actions, like not see people, not be open up, not be honest, not try things, be more reserved. And sorry guys if there's barking, I'm outside at the moment and there's a dog barking and some birds chirping. Anyway, so that's one association. The other association, when someone says, like I misspelled the wrong word, people laughed at me. The other association said, yeah, it's quite funny. I can see why they laugh, my silly little dyslexia. You know what I mean? There's nothing inherently bad about it. I just laugh about it because it's a silly little mistake that I've made. And just learning from it and saying, I'm not like, I won't make this mistake again. Just maybe, you speak it into my phone beforehand, or do one of these new techniques to help me out with it, but it's fine. You mean they laugh at it? I laugh at it because it does sound weird. I think it sounds like I think this is right, correct spelling, but apparently it's not. And apparently it's right. And you can make some joke about it, saying, "Oh, that's the way I meant. It's my I used to call it slang, or it's my way of writing it." or whatever. And with that association, maybe the bond between you and the people you love maybe even got stronger. Maybe you can use that time as an educational moment to help educate other people about your experience, of reading and writing is different than others' experience of it. And through having this different association, you would think differently, you would act differently. And so really the power of our dyslexic associations is everything. It's going to be extremely, extremely hard to speak about the power of the dyslexic associations in this little video here. But I want to tell you a little story that's happened yesterday that can give you an example of dyslexic associations. So, as many know, I've just started teaching. Yesterday was my third day teaching, and on my second day actually teaching in a class. People were inside the classroom. I was teaching online lessons before that. And this class, they're like M5, and I had a good online class with them, so I was looking forward to doing it. But also I had a textbook of what I was supposed to teach, and I had to print out the pages and give them all the pages of what they're supposed to be learning. But here's the thing is, I'm not very good at teaching off a textbook, because reading and then teaching is not my strong suit at all. So I did kind of look over it, and I kind of, okay, this makes sense, I'm going to do it this way, I've written down the things I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it. But also I'd never taught this class in person before. So I had these challenges. But when I was going through it, I came across some barriers, because when I was taught how to teach this, there was this, it's question answer dialogue to do, and you have like two talking sticks, one person says this, one person says that. And sort of different environment because when I was getting taught, this is what's going to be like inside the classroom, it's nothing like that actually inside the actual classroom. And I was doing this thing and no one had a clue what I was doing, so that was a bit embarrassing. But that was fine, that was a little hiccup, anyone could have those. And I sort of learned different things. I should have written it on the board, I should be more specific, be more that, be more this. And then, but what really threw me was when they was doing sort of like if-when clauses. I don't know what a clause is, whatever. All this grammar bollocks. If-when clauses, and like how to add this, how to add that. And the thing is, I felt like how they really was used to learning was me writing things on the board, because that's a better way of communicating. But also, I'm not very good at spelling. I didn't leave my phone. I left my phone downstairs. I didn't take it up with me, so I couldn't use that to help me very much. And sending like it is sun, it is sunny, or it is rain, it is rainy, and changing all these different words, putting S's on the end, changing same sort of word, but changing the clauses, changing the meaning, past and present tense, all this kind of stuff. And as I was going through this, like me as dyslexic, I got very little trust in myself. Something that I'm working on, but hey ho, I think we can all relate about having little trust with the things that we're doing. And when I was doing this, I didn't know how to spell it. I had a guessed, but I wasn't quite sure. And if I was really unsure, I'd go on my computer, type it in, and make sure Grammarly could see it. And it was really hard because I'd type in a word and it would say, because it would be wrong spelling, it would change it to a completely different word that I didn't want. I just wanted to have a certain different meaning of the word. Anyway, all this went through, and a little bit was very stressful. And I had the English teacher there, basically, the Thai English teacher who spoke Thai. He spoke very good English as well, but he's teaching them English. So, but also his very strength, I would imagine, is understanding the English, not in terms of speaking it, like I'm very good at it compared to them, but in terms of understanding how English language works, with the clauses, with the past, present tense, all this other stuff. Anyway, he was looking, and I saw on his face, I'd imagine he looked disapproved, or you mean not approving, but hey, way, by the way, but I imagine disapproving. That's what I thought. He could just be learning it. I had no idea if he realised my mistakes, but I think he could tell I felt very uncomfortable, because I think everyone could tell that I felt very uncomfortable. Anyway, a person was asking me, how was that lesson later? And you mean I could say how I felt at the time. I was rubbish, I was making all these mistakes, I was doing all this. But like, it was a massive learning curve. I was very happy I had that lesson, because that's the process. There's a lot of things I learned to do differently, a lot of things, because it's about them learning my style and I learning their style, and about how I can combine the two to be most effective. And through each lesson, you would learn more and more and more and more and more. So that's the association I got from it. Yes, there's a lot of negativity there, but am I going to say, oh, because I was negative, because I failed in these areas, that won't be any good, I won't succeed, I won't do that? No, I changed my association. Like, I didn't change it. You mean it had a positive reference, have a positive association to that thing, and I kind of cultivated that in a sense to see the truth. And that's how I communicate it now, and that's how I feel about it. And because I communicate that and I feel about it a certain way that's more positive than that's negative, I would act differently to it. And I think how this can relate, without getting into, like, you can use this on a massive scale. And I definitely do help people, talk people, coach people through using this on a massive scale. Like, think about your dyslexia. What's your association, or what does dyslexia mean to you as a whole? And really work on that and really be more accurate on that, and maybe being more accurate. And oftentimes being more accurate means being more positive. So it's not saying, oh, you can't learn to read. It's not saying you can't that. You can, things are hard, but also there's strengths over here. So that's also a thing. But also think how we can use this today and how we can use this in the week is by, so there's a car coming past, is by looking at it and thinking, okay, when moments happen where you feel embarrassed, when you feel shy, when you feel this, when you make mistakes, don't say, oh, I made a mistake, it makes you feel bad, it's my dyslexia, they discriminate against me. Use everything as a learning lesson. Say, oh, this was interesting, I learned a lot then. It's just reframing it. It's just reframing the way you look at it. But also reframing it is changing your association towards it. But also really work on not changing your associations, but coming up with positive ones, coming up with positive meanings for the moments that happen in our life that oftentimes can hold us down. A lot of times they can stop us in our tracks a lot. I think once we start doing that, maybe getting in a habit of really focusing on the positive association, really focusing on positive meaning, creating the positive meaning out of the situation, because that's your job. You've got to take responsibility for it. And things like one of the ways of saying, okay, what does this mean? What else could this mean? What positive thing, like, if there's something positive about this, what could that be? If there's something I learned from this, what could that be? And asking these questions help us create a positive meaning out of it. Anyway, guys, I really hope we took some value from this, and this little sort of snippet of information maybe could be very helpful in a way. And I really hope you enjoyed today's episode, and using what you hear. So many times we can hear things, not use it, and just use it as sort of like information, but without actually using it is useless. So I really want us to use this little association technique by asking ourselves different questions, like, what else could this mean? What is the positive meaning behind this? Or is there something I could learn from this to really help us in our life and help us moving forward? Anyway, guys, have a good day, and I'll see you all again very soon.